Issue number 9 of the Power Rangers comic by Boom Studios begins at Safehaven. Last time, Hartunia was basically destroyed by the Imperial. The Omega Rangers managed to get to the Empress's people to safety. So, here they are at Safehaven. Zack is essentially showing the Hartunians around the place. Archon is usually the one who shows the new arrivals around, but he's standing in front of some armour and holding a sword as if he's preparing for battle. Next we see Trini, and she's directing some punches at the statue of the emissary whilst morphing at the same time. This is Drakon pushing Trini to focus her morph to search the cosmos for the emissary. Trini's been at it for hours, but so far none of that effort has paid off. Drakon says the Imperials, emissaries, Morphin masters and the Power Rangers are all bound to the Morphin grid. They're all connected. If Trini can't reach out to the yellow emissary, then the universe is doomed. Now we see Rishka with Yale. I'm not sure what these two pages are about, to be honest. Besides Rishka falling from a tree and getting upset that she has no planet to return to, I just don't see the point in these two pages. All I can say is Yale tries to cheer Rishka up by giving her an exciting ride. That really is the end of that. It must be building up to something further down the line. Returning to Zack now, and he's still helping the Hartunians adjust to their new surroundings. However, there's trouble as two Hartunians run back towards Zack because Archon, now dressed in his suit of armour, demands retribution because the Hartunians killed a lot of his people in the past. Zack wants him to stop, but Archon refuses. As a result, Zack morphs and has no choice but to battle Archon to stop him from taking out Hartunia's survivors. And now for Drakon and Jason. Drakon is at the vault where the Anointed are being held. Drakon is talking to Saba about hearing the voices calling out from the vault. Jason tells Drakon not to touch it. If Drakon tries to break in, he might end up in the vault permanently. And this raises a question. What will happen to Drakon? He says he's earned his freedom, but Jason says when they're finished, Drakon is going back to Zordon and he can decide what'll happen. Drakon challenges Jason. If Jason wins a fight against Drakon, Drakon will tell everyone else that he was asking for it. If Jason loses, Drakon goes free and Jason tells everyone Drakon escaped. But we don't see how Jason responds, because it's back to Zack versus everybody who hates the Hartunians. Zack stops Archon from harming any of the Hartunians and removes his helmet, telling Archon that if death is the only thing that will make things right, then Zack will exchange his life for the Hartunians. Given that Archon just wants blood, he raises a sword and cuts down Zack on his cheek. So blood was drawn, and technically that satisfies Archon. He tells the Hartunians that they now share a grief they've inflicted on other races. They must embrace it and learn from it. Returning to Trini, she's still punching the statue of the emissary and morphing. C tells her to stop, but instead, Trini tells C to up the frequency output to maximum yield. And with that, Trini punches the statue one more time, morphing, and she comes face to face with the yellow emissary. Trini's got the emissary's attention. Jason and Zack then teleport to C, who find Trini floating in the air. Trini then falls to the ground, telling Jason she knows where the emissary are. They told Trini not to seek them out, for the Rangers bring nothing but death. So it seems the emissary don't want anything to do with the Rangers anymore. And now back to Yale. I'm still not seeing the relevance of Yale's inclusion here. Rishka is being bullied or teased by Team Jellyfly. They tell Rishka that either Yale leaves or Rishka can get lost. Ultimately, the decision Rishka reaches is that Yale must leave. So she throws a stone at Yale, which hits him, and he turns to leave. As he goes into the forest, this issue ends with broken parts of an emissary statue on the ground. So this issue was pretty weak in my opinion. I think the only parts of any significance were that some people hate the Hartunians. It was expected. The Hartunians conquered. Some of those races would have ended up on Safehaven, and therefore hate the Hartunians. Now, this is something that I like because it's realistic. Kind of like how COVID-19 originated from China, and now a lot of people resent China. This is unlike the original Power Rangers TV series, where everybody would probably be getting along. The other significant thing was Trini finally tracking down an emissary. Great, But why was she told that the Rangers bring nothing but death? The mystery continues. And as for Yale, I couldn't see a point to his appearances in this issue. This is why this one felt like a bit of a mess to me. I can only assume this is just setting us up for something in a future issue.